Hey everybody, it's Ethan. Um, just coming on to update about, just went through the legal name change process yesterday. I had to go to court and state my case, I guess, if you want to call it that. Yeah, basically I had to go in front of the judge and explain why I wanted the name change, and he asked me a few legal questions, like was I doing it for purposes of fraud or evasion of parole, which I wasn't. So, he approved it. I think the worst part of the whole ordeal was just having to stand there in front of a room full of people as they're listening to me explain why I wanted to make a legal name change. So, when he asked me why I was changing my name, I said, it's to fit my new gender identity. And I left it at that. I heard some people whispering or whatever in the background, but whatever. Nobody said anything to me when I left. I got my paperwork, it got stamped by the clerk, and then I walked out, and that was it. I don't know. Nobody said anything, so whatever. But yeah, a little awkward there. Otherwise, now I'm just going through the process of updating everything with my name on it. Social Security wasn't that hard. If you are going to change your gender, though, which they updated the policy, but if you're going to change your gender, at least the woman that I spoke to, they needed a letter from the doctor, and she gave me the breakdown of what it has to say. So not too complicated, but still another thing to have to, another hoop to have to jump through, I guess. But it's easier than it used to be when I guess you used to have to have bottom surgery before you could, and proof of that before you could change your gender with Social Security. So it's easier, but and actually the lady was really nice. She explained everything to me, and even kind of knew about the policy, but had to research it as she was talking to me, because she's like, I know they just changed it, but she's I'm not sure what exactly you need. She actually was about to allow me to use the state gave me a form that said I could change my gender. Or they approved my request to change my gender on my driver's license, and she was like, oh, I might be able to use this, but when she talked to her boss, I guess not. So whatever. Trying to update everything is fun as I'm realizing how much my name is attached to. But everybody I've spoken to so far has been very polite and courteous, and I haven't had a whole lot of problems with it. Just the tediousness of having to re-explain myself every time. And of course, I'm going from a very female name to a male name, so, that obviously, I don't know, it hasn't been a problem yet, but people know why I'm changing my name. So that's been an interesting process. And I was a little hesitant right before I went through with the name change, just because it's a new level of permanence. Not because I didn't want to, I did, and I really want my ID to reflect, my driver's license to reflect the correct information, according to my identity now. And so it wasn't that I didn't want to do it, it just, I didn't know what to expect, and I know it's a process, and it felt kind of weird to be like, yes, I am legally changing my name. It's very adult to have to go to court and stand there in front of a judge and explain why I wanted my name to change. And not that it's not permanent. I could always go back and change it again, but it's such an interesting step to take in this process. That was cool, and also Another thing to update on, I am 4 weeks post-op. Things are going pretty well. Um, I almost have, well, not full range of motion, but kind of right here it starts to get uncomfortable. But that's pretty good. And the scar lines stayed pretty thin. I really haven't seen much stretching, which has been nice. And I'm using like vitamin E oil on it, or vitamin E on it, and these scar guard strips that I've seen some of the other guys use. Um, they're actually clear though, instead of like some of them that I've seen in videos of brown. I couldn't find those, but I found the clear ones. Problem with those is they don't really stay on very well. They fall off pretty easily, but I did put some tape over them. But the tape is kind of irritating, so I don't know how long I'll do that. But yeah, the vitamin E oil I know should work pretty well too. Yeah, everything's looking pretty good there. I did go through a period of time this last week or so where I've kind of felt a little off. It's the first time in transition that I've kind of questioned myself, um, which is, and I think brought on by a lot of things. I mean, I just had surgery and I was getting ready to make the name change. So I think there was just a lot of reflection on the process and how big of a deal it is and what a life-changing experience it is. And yeah, I think just as I reflected on all of that, I also questioned whether I was making the right decision. And everything feels right, but I think from the get-go I had felt really great about all the changes and what T was doing for me, and I absolutely am happy with the surgery and my decision to go here with that. But there's just been a little bit of a period of, I wouldn't say depression, but just kind of maybe a little more down. I don't know. And I haven't experienced a whole lot of changes recently either, except for a little more facial hair. So maybe that's it. But I go next week for a doctor's appointment and to get my levels checked again. So we'll see where they're at. Last time I got them checked, they were actually at a normal male range. So hopefully I don't need to make any adjustments there. But maybe that's the case, or maybe there's just a lull right now in my transition. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know how really to explain that. I also know part of that kind of down period is probably due to just surgery and recovery and my experience there. But overall, I mean, I'm still happy with everything. And I was happy yesterday when I walked out. It was actually hard when I finally went to the clerk to get the paperwork. She was stamping it off and everything. And I was trying not to smile as I walked out of the court. Not that I couldn't have smiled, but everybody else is in there for like traffic infractions and stuff. So but I smiled anyway, and I smiled on my way down the stairs and stuff. It was exciting, but yeah. So it's been good, but yeah, I just noticed a little drop in my mood, which not a big deal, but yeah, I just noticed it, and I'm not sure how else to really describe it or talk about it right now, but yeah, it's kind of what I was feeling. Anyway, I'll give you a quick look at my chest 4 weeks out. If I take my shirt off, but I'm not dressed in front of the camera before. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. It doesn't look that great right now with the sun on it, but and I have the strips on it right now, but overall, change this in it, but the scar is staying pretty light, and it looks pretty good. The nipples are healing, although this one's taking a little bit longer on this side. I don't know how to really show this best, but yeah, the lighting is weird in this, but anyway, I think it looks pretty good. I'm happy with it. like I said, everything's healing really well. Yeah. These are the little clear silicone strips I'm using. They're okay. I'm not sure they're really doing much, although the scar seems to be flattening out a little bit. But yeah, they don't stay on very well. You can see this one, it's already kind of peeling off here. But anyway, just take those off because they're getting annoying. But yeah, this is it at 4 weeks. It looks pretty good, and I'm happy with it. So anyway, yeah, that's it. Take care, guys.